What is up, guys? Spencer Davidson here with another video. Today we're going to be going into a deep dive on how you can master cold calling for your real estate business. Now, if you are not a real estate agent, a real estate wholesaler, real estate broker, you might still be able to get a few key nuggets out of this video. So still stay in there and watch because you might have some good takeaways from it as well. But this is primarily made for real estate agents, real estate brokers. Maybe you're an individual agent, you want to build out your book of business, or you're a first brand new agent, you want to start getting some sales under your belt. Maybe you're a team owner and you want to start adding some new ways of getting business for your team, or you're a broker and you want to start training people on how to successfully cold call for sale by owners expired listings. Or maybe you're in the real estate wholesaling space and you're looking at trying to get deals. Again, this video will apply to pretty much all of that, but I'm really going to focus on the real estate agents and brokers right now, because that is where I spent the majority of my career, starting out as an individual real estate agent. Then I opened up my own agency, a brokerage, scaled that to 4 major cities in 18 months with 30 agents. In my last year actively selling real estate, I closed 57 properties, just under $117 million worth of volume, mainly cold calling and mastering the phones. So today we're going to dive right into it. Okay, the first thing that you need if you are going to become a cold calling machine, master the cold call, and master closer, is you need the right mindset. Now, I know a lot of people out there, there's a lot of bullshit gurus out there that talk about mindset. And sometimes, honestly, guys, that stuff gets kind of annoying, because it's like, yes, I understand that I need the right mindset. I understand that, I got to believe in myself. But really, this is truly important, having the right mindset of cold calling. Because the reality is, guys, a lot of people have made cold calling a bad thing. A lot of people out there have this perception of sales and cold calling, like, oh, you're a used car salesman, or you're a sleaze bag for reaching out to people via the phone, or you are a bad person, like you're a Wolf of Wall Street kind of predator. If you pick up the phone and hammer the phones and master that skill, you're a bad person. But the reality is, if we're talking real estate specific, because again, I've been doing this for the last decade in the real estate world, and this is all I know, is I'm actually a problem solver. You need a mindset of, hey, what I am doing is actually genuinely helping these people get better results when they're selling their property, right? We all know, if you're an agent and you know the industry data, you know that if they sell their home for sale by owner, they're more than likely to sell it for less money. They're more than likely to have more hiccups and issues and troubles throughout the transaction that they don't know how to solve. And only if you would have reached out to them via cold call, maybe you could have helped them make more money. And I know you can help them through that transaction, because that's what you do. You are an industry expert. And so the first things first, before we get into any nitty gritty, before we get into details, your mindset has to be, hey, I am helping these people. I am problem solution. I am solving their problems. I know that if they work with me, they're going to get more equity out of that house. They're going to get a bigger check at closing. And I'm going to make this process as smooth as possible for these people. They don't think that. That's why they are for sale by owners. But it is your job to show them and help them and problem solve for them, to show them that you can do that, and that is what you do. Now, if you're a terrible agent, you don't know anything about the business, and you are a bad agent, you don't communicate, you don't follow up, you don't know how to price homes accurately, then maybe this video isn't for you. But since you're watching this video, it sounds like you want to better yourself. It seems like you're the type of person that actually cares about their clients and knows what they're doing. So let's dive right into it. We're going to get into the nitty gritty and how to master the cold call. Now that we have our mindset right? We understand that how imperative it is to help these people, because if they go out on their own and they sell their home on their own, we all know that they're going to have less money in their pocket at closing. They're more than likely going to blow up the deal because they don't know how the process works. And that home will actually probably never sell. And if it does, they probably will sell it for a lot less than what we can get for them. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to talk about, now that we have mindset out of the way, what we need to do is we need to figure out who we can help, right? Who is the prime target for us to cold call? Who is the prime person? Who is the prime prospect, right? And in my opinion, and I sound like a broken record, but this is how I've made all my money in real estate, is for sale by owners and expired listings. Okay, for sale by owners and expired listings are the best people to call. Reason is they're the most qualified lead, right? They already have a home. They've already trying to sell it. Okay, so one, you check, they have a home. B, number two, they are actively saying they want to sell it. And three, they don't know what they're doing, or they had a bad experience, right? So they either don't know what they're doing or they had a bad experience because the last agent couldn't get it sold. So these are my primary targets when I'm starting the cold call. Now, I will say the expired listings are a little bit, you got to pay for the data, you got to pay for the lists and things like that. So if you're a brand new agent, you don't have any money, my bread and butter for sale by owners. You are the best leads to call. You have their phone number on Zillow, their name and address, or their name and full name and all their property history on their county assessor address. You have all the data that you need to reach out to them. Now we just need to reach out to them. First things first is we need a script, all right? If you don't have a script and you're going in this by winging it, and I know plenty of agents that tell me, oh, I just wing it when I'm on the phone. How in the heck are you ever going to master this process if you don't have a script? Now, with the thing with the script, it can change, right? I edit my script. I tweak my script probably once every 2 weeks because I might have said something that sounded great here, or maybe it didn't work on this. I tried that line, it didn't work, right? And so when we're going into this, we need to be fully prepared. How can you master anything if you're not fully prepared? And so if you need a script, I'm going to drop a link below, PDF. You should be able to access that script with the script that I use to sell, like I said, almost 60 homes my last year selling real estate, just under 17 million, and how my team sold 162 homes, almost $60 million worth of real estate. And again, how I've made over $500,000 this year wholesaling, again, was through my cold calling script. Now that we know that we need a script, right? You can't just go into this willy-nilly. You can't just go into this thinking, oh, I'm just going to guess what to say, right? You wouldn't, just guess when you go to the gym, right? You need a plan in place, kind of. You could go in there, but you might not know what to work out. You need a plan of action. You wouldn't be on a football team and not have any plays to run, right? You have a playbook, right? This is the exact same thing, right? You need a script. You need some guidance to tell you what to say, when to say it, maybe how to say it. Okay, well, if they say this, how do I respond to that? You need a general script to kind of guide you along in the conversation. And I still have mine on my desk every day when I make calls. Now, when you get a little bit more experience, you can kind of just refer to talking points, right? You have the script out, just kind of refer yourself back if the conversation goes another way and you need to weave it back in, as Donald Trump would say, right? You want to weave it, right? And that's the same thing. That's why you need a script so you can bring it back to talking points and finish out the call. So what is in this script, right? We're going to break down the script. We're going to talk about the main talking points, and for me and how I handle the for sale by owner clientele. How do I reach out to them? Again, because they have a lot of competition out there, right? They got people knocking on their doors. They got mailers coming in. They probably have 10 or 20 agents reaching out to them every day. What makes us different? What sets us apart? And what's made me successful when doing this? All right, now that we know that the script is extremely important to have, again, it's like being a football coach without a playbook, right? How are you going to know what plays to run? How are you going to know what you're going to do on the field? You need to have that playbook, so you need to have a script. Now, my script is very detailed, right? I have a bunch of paragraphs, I have a bunch of sentences, but in today's video, I'm just going to break down the main talking points and kind of the general idea of the script, right? And so the first thing we got to talk about, introduction. How do we introduce ourselves? When anytime somebody calls me, I need to know who the hell they are and why are they even calling me in the first place? And you need to do the same thing as an agent, right? So when I'm calling up for sale by owner, it goes something like this. Hey, John, Spencer here with ABC Realty. Just touching base. I noticed you were working on selling your home here on 123 Main Street. I was just curious if you had any questions or concerns that I might be able to help out with today. Now, what that's doing is it's introducing who I am and why I'm calling in the first place, right? I'm not reaching out and telling them a bunch of different stats. Oh, hey, my name's John. I sold the home across the street. I had sold 100 homes last year. No, I'm generally curious. Hey, who I am. I'm Spencer with ABC Realty. And I was curious if you had any questions or concerns because I generally want to help you. I want to see if I can even help you. Now, 99.9% of the time, they're going to say, no, I have no questions. I feel good about it. Okay, great. That'll lead us into the next step of the conversation because now we actually have a conversation going. That'll lead us into the next segment, which is the why and motivation, right? Okay, why are they selling the property? Now, we're not just going to straight up ask them that. Hey, why are you selling the home? That's super offensive. It raises their guard right back up when we just worked on lowering it down. One of the best questions that I always ask is, so John, if you get this home sold, what are your plans next? Are you relocating somewhere or are you just wanting something different in the area? Now, what that does is it tells us what's going on. And however they answer, yeah, actually, we're moving to Dallas. We're relocating to Dallas. Okay, great. That's their why and motivation. They need to move to Dallas. Okay. Oh, what has you going to Dallas? Are you just leaving the cold winters or What's going on? Oh, we're actually being transferred. I worked at the John Deere in Johnston, and now I'm being transferred down to Dallas to work at the John Deere factory. Oh, that's awesome. That's what brings you right into the next segment, rapport, right? When they tell you what's going on, you can start building rapport off of that, right? And now a lot of people get the misconception of rapport. Right? They don't understand rapport. Rapport is not about the weather or some random football game, right? It's about specific rapport that talks about their why and motivation, right? That's what we get it from. That's how we start building that. What that does is it lowers their guard and they start treating you like a human being. You start building a relationship, right? Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, you're moving down to Dallas. Okay, gotcha. Is it job related or are you just wanting to get away from the winters? I mean, I totally understand if it's the winters because I can't stand them anymore. Oh, yeah, no, I just got transferred from John Deere. Oh, how long did you work at John Deere for? Oh, I worked there for like 10 years. Are you excited about the move or, how's that going? Oh, well, we have kids and, it's the first time moving. We're kind of nervous about it. Hey, no, I get that completely. It's crazy. I just moved down to Florida, blah, 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 right? And so now what that does is it starts racking up problems. The more questions we ask, rapport relates questions based on their why and motivation, we can start stacking up their problems and we can start coming up with solutions, right? So as we're asking these questions, the more problems are going to start arising that they don't quite understand yet are problems, but we as professionals know their problems. And that's why it's super important to take notes during calls, whether it's a notepad or a CRM that you're typing into, or a notepad to then transfer into a CRM, right? Because everybody should have a CRM, and that's another video we'll get into. But this is where we start stacking up problems. Oh, yeah, okay, so are you looking to buy another home down there, or are you going to be renting an apartment for a little bit? Or, oh, yeah, we actually already put an offer in on the home, and they accepted it, but now we have to sell this property, and we need to get it sold within the next 45 days because that's when our timeline is up, and we need to get this sold. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, we both know that's a problem because if they don't sell the home, they can't move into the home that they really want. We also know it's probably going to take 60 days to sell that home in this current market because we're industry experts, but we don't necessarily tell them that right now. We tell them that on the listing appointment, right? And so as we're stacking up all of these problems and we know the solutions to them, we're going to be writing them all down. That's when we go in for the close. Once we've had, once we start stacking up 3, 4, 5 different problems that they have, that's when we can now move on to the close. This closing line is what I've used for years and years and years. It's always worked out for me and it should work out for you. And basically it's going something like this. Hey, John, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk today. I was curious if you had 15 minutes later today, maybe around 4:15, where I can swing by the property, swing by your house, and just kind of go over some of the different market information that is going on, kind of give you an overview of what we think we could sell your home for, as well as how long it might take, and what you could sell your home for, and see if you might actually be able to walk away with a little bit more money than what you're currently selling it at, and go over some of the solutions that we have. Now, if the glove fits, that's great. If not, it's no big deal. At least you have that information to work off of moving forward. So would 4:15 today work, or would 5:30 be better tomorrow? And boom, that's going to close that listing. He's going to tell you, yes, 4:15 works or 5:30 tomorrow works better. Never book an appointment more than 48 hours in advance because they'll forget about it. You'll show up at their house. It's going to be super awkward when they're eating dinner. So I always try to go for same day appointments or the next day. Now, there's going to be rebuttals, right? You're not going to maybe necessarily get it the first time. You're going to have rebuttals, and those are some things that you want to add in, and the more rebuttals you hear, the more you want to study it, but it's not going to be many, right? You might hear, why do you need to come by the house? No, I have a friend that's an agent, right? And there's so many different things that you can use to combat that, and we'll talk about that in another video, but we'll go over a couple real quick. One, why do you need to come by the house? Well, hey, again, it's just good to kind of see what's going on with the property. So when I look at the comparables, I can really see what the differences are and see, how your home stacks up to the recent homes that have sold here in the market. As well, it's a great way to put a name to the face here that you're talking to. And again, I'm more than happy to do that. Take time out of my day to come over and do that for you. I have a friend that's already, probably going to list the property. Hey, totally understand that you have a friend in the business. Most of the clients that I actually ended up working with had a best friend that was an agent, but they decided to work with us because we offered a couple more programs and it had a couple more key pieces. And we were actually able to save them money on commissions as well as get them more money for their house. So they ended up working for us instead. But hey, that's neither here or there. I just want to give you a second opinion. You might have a difference in opinion on how much you can actually sell it for and how long it's going to take, but it would be good to get another opinion on that property. Don't you think? So does 4:15 work or does 5:30 tomorrow work? Again, always going back to the time of the appointment, always going back to, hey, it's not a big deal being defensive. I'm just doing this to help. I don't care if I get the deal out of it. Because again, you're not going to close them over the phone to sign a listing agreement with you. You do that in the living room. We're going to talk about in another video. So again, I hope this kind of gives you a general understanding on how you can master the cold call, why cold calling is so important, why you must do cold calling to really increase sales in your real estate business, and how you can make money quickly doing cold calling and mastering the cold call. Again, I've been doing this for the last decade of my career, whether it was as an agent, I was dialing for sale by owners, or now as a wholesaler, dialing off-market properties, and I've made a lot of money doing this. Last year, I was an active real estate agent. I closed 57 homes for just under $17 million in real estate volume. And now as a wholesaler, I have just surpassed the $500,000 mark and closed assignment fees this year with another 100,000 pending with 60 days to go. So again, I'm not just some random person that has never done this before. I do this every single day in my business, and it's very successful, and I want it to be successful for you. So like, subscribe, comment below. I will drop the script that I use down below that's made me hundreds of thousands of dollars, helped me sell tens of millions of dollars worth of real estate. I'll drop that below. And if you have any questions or comments, or you have any other questions on other video ideas, drop those below. I'm more than happy to look at those and see how I can help you. Again, my name is Spencer Davidson with the Real Money Network. I appreciate you guys watching.